In this video, we'll teach you how to play This Game is Nuts. The objective of the game is to be the first player to successfully play all the cards from their win stack. Let's go over the vocabulary you will need to know. This is your win stack. These are your discarded cards. The draw deck is in the middle, with the sequence stacks surrounding the draw deck. There is no limit to the number of sequence stacks on the table. Just make sure everyone can reach them. To set up the game, shuffle the deck and deal 10 cards to each player, which will be their win stack. Make sure you don't look at the cards. Place the rest of the cards in the center of the table as the draw deck. Start the opening rally by counting off 3, 2, 1, go. On go, each player turns over the top card in their win stack. A player can start a sequence stack by placing a 1 or a wild nut in the middle of the play area. Players play cards in sequential order on the stack until the sequence stack reaches 10. Once the stack reaches 10, remove it from the playing area. Once the opening rally reaches a stalemate, which means players either are unable to or refuse to continue adding to the sequence stacks, the player left of the dealer will open a new rally. Here is how each rally will work. The player opening the rally draws 5 cards for their hands. Later in the game, you will draw back up to 5 cards. They play their first card uninterrupted by the other players. And then after this first move, others may join the rally. When this rally reaches a stalemate, the player who opened the rally finishes it by discarding any card from their hand near their win stack and passes the rally card to the player on their left. The next rally follows the same rules, and this continues in a clockwise fashion with players taking turns starting rallies. During a rally, if anyone at the table successfully plays all the cards in their hand, they can redraw back to 5 cards. Remember that all visible cards, those in your hand, your win stack, and discarded cards, are fair game to play during the rally. Once every player has opened a rally, they will all have a hand to use and play. Players who use the last card from their hand to discard at the end of the rally must wait until their next turn to draw 5 cards. When the draw deck becomes empty in a rally, immediately pause gameplay, shuffle the completed win stacks back into the draw deck, and resume. There are a few special cards you need to be aware of. The wild nut. This card can be used in place of any numeric card to start or build a sequence stack. The double nut and swap nut can also be used in place of any numeric card, but they have an additional ability. When the double nut card is played, the person playing it selects a player who is required to immediately draw 2 cards from the top of the draw deck and add them to the bottom of their win stack without looking at them. When the swap nut card is played, the person playing it chooses another player with whom they will immediately swap win stacks. If the last card of a win stack is a swap nut card, the player will still win by playing it. Rallies don't pause to attend to the victim. If the victim's name is called as they are making a play on top of the draw 2 or swap nut cards, they are permitted to play the 1 grace card, but cannot postpone their punishment further. The thick cardstock or wooden card provided is passed to whomever begins the rally as a marker so that players know who needs to discard after a stalemate. Remember that the only time you draw cards for your hand is when it's your turn to start a rally, or when you've successfully used all the cards in your hand during a rally. Make sure to decide at the beginning of the game if players can legally place multiple cards on a sequence stack simultaneously, or if each card will need to be played one at a time. Also, you will need to decide who is responsible to clear completed sequence stacks from the playing area. Often the dealer clears as a courtesy, but you may also decide that the player who completes the sequence will need to remove it.